Good morning, and welcome to the first edition of what I'd like to call Mindful Entertainment with Jenny Sosa. Now, I can't call it mindless entertainment because I feel that my mind is so full of this random information that I just have to share with all of you out there in the listening audience. So, it is my pleasure and privilege to present to you the journey of how to become truly countrified. Now, I'm telling you this story because I started out as a city girl where I grew up, in the suburbs, and there's, concrete sidewalks. And I remember we had gutters. I remember the gutters because there was a flood back when I was like in the first grade. And I remember I had to walk to school like 6 blocks in the rain with the gutters overflowing like there was just torrential waters. That, let me tell you this, the water was so deep when they canceled school that day and we walked back home that day. We went up in the house, got our booster seat out because we were still kind of little, got that booster seat out, came to discover that thing could float. That water in front of my house on my street was so deep. My sister and I took turns sitting on that booster seat floating down the road. No lie. Anyway, back to wherever that story was going. Countrified. So in the long journey of my life, I believe I'm 44 at this day and time. Sometimes I do have to call my mother and ask her how old I am. She says, Jen, you could do the math. You know what year you were born and you know what year it is. You could do the math. And I said, Mama, it's one of those days. No, I cannot sit down and do the math today. Could you please just help me out with this? And my mama is so accommodating. Now, back to wherever this story was headed. Countrified. And no, this is not really how I talk. This is how I talk sometimes whenever the mood strikes me. But then again, if I've had a one too many, this accent does slip out. So maybe it really is my accent and I just repress it when I'm sober. I am sober right now, by the way. I have not had one, what do they say, nary a drop to drink. I'm just in a really good mood, for reals. So, all that to tell you, countrified. I'm beginning to wonder, my poor sweet husband does tell me, when I try to tell him a story, he's like, wait, you were what? And then where's the beginning of this story? So I acknowledge, yes, I do jump around. It is the truth. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop it, though. But I do recognize, and self-awareness is the first step, I think, to recovery. But I don't think you can recover from being countrified, especially if you live out in the country and your household is countrified as well. But I did start out as a city girl in Sharpstown, Houston. And I was even born in a hospital in the downtown Houston area. So I think that's legit street cred for being a city girl in the start. But now I live out in the country. I'm out in Cleveland, Texas. And I am surrounded by country. And this morning, in my endeavors to solidify and complete the countrification I am going to attempt to operate a zero-turn power lawnmower, even if that's not the right way to call that machine. And so this morning, my dear sweet husband is going to help me make sure how to check that oil, fill it with gasoline. I think I have to push a button or something before I press start or turn the key or whatever. I just don't want to wreck the machine. But I am going to attempt to cut the grass out here. And I've got about an acre, a little over an acre to cut. But thankfully to me, most of my yard is actually wooded. So it's not quite so much. But this man of mine, he can get this yard cut in like 20 minutes, whereas it takes me about an hour. I think it's because I'm a little worried I'm going to turn that mower over. And there was words of, don't come running to me if you cut your legs off. Those are the words that parents say to their children. My husband wouldn't say that to me, but I still don't want to tip this lawnmower over or have an accident. So I just wanted to share with you the beginnings of my morning and I'm on my journey of countrification. I think I am well on my way. I've been married 3 years now to, I think, what I would consider a definite country boy, and we are happy. So I got to get to the yard now, and I hope you enjoyed this little peep into my world. And if you're brave, you might come back, and if you're not, I understand. No offense and no regrets.